Dave, it's Tuesday around 4 o'clock. I'm going to make a video here for you about stone speed and fineness. This is the scratch pattern left from a Japanese natural with a slurry. I'll take a photo of that. You notice that all the scratches are broken little dots and dashes here. That's the shadow from a 1000 grit king on the side there. I have my microscope over here with the razor mounted in it. This is the razor I'm going to use. It's a German razor. And I'm going to do a 1000 grit bevel set using this king. These are one directional strokes. I actually lift the razor and go back. So that's 41 strokes. Set the king aside, rinse off the blade, and we'll look at this edge in the microscope. On my microscope I have a switch that moves the image from my microscope over to the computer. That's what I'm doing right now. And here's the scratch pattern left from the 1000 grit king. You can see the synthetic stones. They leave long, deep lines from their scratch pattern. Here's the bottom or the base of the bevel here. This is the face of the blade of the razor. And our bevel is about this wide. It's not very wide at all. So focus that in, and I'm going to take a photo of that. Okay, next I'm going to pick up the razor, and I'm down here with an Ozaki. This is it's an Ozaki. Put a little water on it, and I'm going to raise slurry using a worn out Atma diamond plate. This is a level 5, maybe 5 plus stone. It's not really all that hard. Okay, I'm going to do handheld honing. Okay, that was, I wasn't counting, but maybe 15 strokes on each side. Maybe 18, whatever, something like that. Just not very many. Okay, and let me get this in focus. Okay, here's the scratch pattern left from the Japanese natural. And you can see all those 1000 grit scratches are gone. And we're looking at the edge. Let me scroll down towards the base of the bevel. Pretty much all the scratches are gone down there too. So that's with about 18 strokes. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take that same razor. So this to me, by definition, is a fast stone because I was able to remove the scratches from the 1000 grit king. uh, within 20 strokes. That would be my definition of a good fast stone. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse off the Ozaki, and I'm going to do another, I'll count them this time, I'll do 18 strokes using just clear water. Really rinse that off. Okay, that's 18. I could feel a little suction beginning on the blade. Here's the same stone. Okay. Let me focus that in just a bit. Okay, so here's with just clear water, 18 strokes. Oh, sorry. There we are. Clear water, 18 strokes. You can see the shadow from, I think, one of the king scratches. I'll focus in and out. That's out. Here's in. You can see that it's a remnant, and it doesn't quite reach the edge anymore. I'll take a photo. And I'm going to go back to clear water and do another 18 strokes and see if we can lighten up that blade a bit more. Okay, so that was 18. Again, I could feel the suction of the blade getting pulled into the stone. Okay. So here's the little bit of refinement on the blade. All these photos or views are taken at around 350 power. So you can see the blade has lightened up quite a bit. The scratch pattern that was all pebbly, there's a lot of brighter, oh darn it, okay, sorry about that. The scratch pattern is much lighter. There's what was pebbly now is more like there's some open bright areas in between all of what used to be scratches. Here again is a remnant of the 1000 grit king. That could be refined out more, but probably it's easier to do that in the slurry stage rather than at this later stage. So the next thing to do, I'm going to take that razor over to the strop and just do some simple stropping here. This is clean leather. That was 20. On the back of this razor, this is a Garber strop. the back of the strap, it says fine weave linen finish. This is an old Illinois strop, number 361. It's in really perfect condition, although it's probably about 40 years old. Okay, now I have some hair here, and I'm going to see if this razor will pass a hanging hair test. Give me an idea how fine the razor is. That was just pretty much effortless. I hope you can see this. The hair just fell on the other side of the blade. Silently. And stuck on the blade just a little bit. These are just silent, these are HH5s. HHT5s. They're just laying down on the other side. Now, if I had spent maybe just a little bit more time on this razor, I might have gotten a little bit better results out towards the toe. But basically that's it. That was a minimum number of strokes. I'm going to send you this razor along with this stone, so you can do your own testing. But that's how I test razors for how sharp they are and how fast the stone is cutting. Oh, before we hang up here, let me just put the razor in the microscope one more time. Just get one last view after we refine the edge on the strop. It's going to look very similar, but usually there's a certain amount of brightness that happens right at the edge. That is leather residue, some what we call in Japan gomi. Let me just wipe that off. Okay, let me put the razor back. That's a little better. Okay. So here is our edge again. And once again you can see how what used to be a real pebbly area, you know, the flat of the razor, now there's more like open white areas, bright, where those shallower pebble type areas were removed. So take a photo of this. I can maybe we can scroll up and down the edge here, and there are some places where there's more pronounced. That was from the king, and it resulted in a little breakage in the edge there. That's what your bevel setters can do sometimes. Same here. That break there was probably a result of some deeper scratches from the king from a thicker piece of grit. But anyhow, that's what we're looking at, speed and fineness.